shame. Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Raphie Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we are live. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Hello and welcome. Hold on. Let me get my screen. Let me get my screen right. There we go. Now you know. Okay. Let's activate warp drive and get this thing cracking. Okay. So where are we? Let's just allow me to fix my screen. Okay, let's share this. Okay, there you see it. Nice and clear. You are in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie. What we on? 346. Uno momento. Mami, slow your tempo. Cal L up in the building. How do you do? Okay. What do I want to do with the screen? What do I want to do with this thing? Okay. I think it's good as it is, but of course, first things first, we've got to do the sound check. Okay, let's have a look at this thing. Oh, I don't want it like that. I don't want it to be like that, damn it. Oh no, that's not what I want either. Okay, that's better. Got it right by accident. Okay. Trial and error. Experimentation. Let's kill the music. And let's do the sound check. Experimentation. Let's kill the music. And let's do the sound check. Experimentation. Let's kill the music. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. So what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? She's biz up in the building. We got the Raphie. We got the Shiz Biz. Good evening, Raphie. Good evening to the Wizard Sleeves. Okay. So we got here. Salute to the Combat Radio Nation. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon for news and notifications. Do that now. Go on. Hit all the good buttons. Okay. So let's get some order. And let's get this thing crack-a-lacking. Okay, what we got on the screen? What we got on the screen? Which screen am I on? Okay, we got... Okay, that's interesting. That's good. Okay, we got myself and Audley Harrison. Top left-hand corner of the thumbnail, we got Eddie Hearn. Or rather, forget about Eddie Hearn for a second. We got Frank Warren, who is a part of the Audley Harrison story. Not a good part. Not a good part. Okay. And Eddie Hearn talking about a bunch of things. Eddie Hearn's talking about a bunch of things tonight. Okay. Let's get this damn thing out of the way. And, yeah. Anthony Joshua, Chris Eubank Jr., Liam Smith. What's that his name? William, sorry. Smith, where'd I get Smith from? That's not a Welsh name. Liam, the Welshman with a good Welsh name, Williams. Okay. Dillian White makes an appearance, as does Tyson Fury. Okay. There's a bunch. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a bunch of things we got to talk about tonight. Whole heap of things. Things. Whole heap of things. Whole heap. Whole heap. Okay. It's only a question of where we begin. Where do we begin? Don't miss the frauds, Raphie. I don't know what you mean, mate. I don't know what you mean. Don't know what you mean. Okay. I'm sure you'll enlighten me. Okay. So, what are you gonna do here? I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. Wow. Wow. Drop the top. Drop the top. Found it immediately. We're talking here. Orange and peach. No added sugar. Where are we? Orange and peach, no added sugar. Can you see that? Probably not. Oh, you might see a little something there. You might see a little something there. There we go. Aqua. For Morrison's, of course. Okay. Let's get into this thing. Let's do this thing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Where are we going to start? Where are we going to start? Oh, should I share this? Yeah, I think I should share this. I think I should share this. Okay, let me do a quick share. Let me do the share on the WhatsApp first of all. And then, let's just post the link in the chat. This thing's popping off. It's popping off. It's popping off. Okay. Let's kill the volume on that and let's start the sharing process. Share. Okay. Let's bring that down. Move that out of the way. Let's share this thing out. Boom. We are live. Okay, so I've done my duty over there. Session is live. Okay, what are we looking at here? Okay. The current trash that's killing the game. Talk. All the talk. I hear you. You've been on the run for some medicinal purposes. Yeah, I had some spice rum, but it's run out. I got some of Russia's finest. I'm contemplating, do I take a little tot? Do I pour a little tot? You know, Raphie does this thing naturally aspirated. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm starting a new position on Monday. That's right, Raphie, starting a new position on Monday. So, you know, maybe that's an excuse to raise a little toast. Maybe that's an excuse to raise a little toast. Leon Figures up in the building. Yeah, I'm just on the water at the moment, the flavored water. I've been on the flavored water for the last few weeks. That's all I've been drinking. Natural water and flavored water. You know, I do that every now and then. Just go water all the way for a few months every now and then. I don't know why. It's just my natural instincts lead me to do that. Frank says they have to get Tyson out. Eddie says Tyson wants a warm-up fight. What's the difference? Frank says they have to get Tyson out. What do you mean get him out? Get him in? Get him in the ring. Give him a run out. Yeah, have that run out against Dillian White is there. That's what's contracted, isn't it? That's what's contracted. I get you, Wizard Sleeves. White's got the Fury fanboys in a panic over the silence. I don't know why they're panicking for. Don't you remember that song? Silence is golden. Exacte mundo. Okay, let's get into this thing. Let's get into this thing ASAP. Like now. What's the first thing? Okay, let's get into it. Hey guys, there's a lot to get through. There's a heck of a lot to get through. So let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Pin that. Okay. So let's let's get straight into it without any form of delay. Where's the first thing I'm going to? It's right here. It's right here. There's a bunch of things. Okay. All right. Hope everyone's well. So Raphie Dawkins, the Combat Radio Boxing Talk with Raphie. 3, 4, 6. OMG. Okay, let's do this thing. Let's go. All right, where are we? They tried to ruin me. That's a good title, even if I say so myself. Okay, we'll get into that shortly. Anyone who has not checked out my little interview with Audley Harrison, hey, do that. Feel free to do that after the show. But first things first, let's kick this thing off. Okay, so, right, Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is not disappointed. He lost Fury White purse bid. Okay, we're going to have to do some Fury White stuff because it's still a hot topic. Or Dillian White silence. We're going to go into Dillian White silence and possible explanations for that. Okay, so what's going on? Promoter of Eddie Hearn. What? Promoter Eddie Hearn of Matchroom has explained that he's not disappointed in losing the recent purse bid for the upcoming mandatory fight between WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and challenger Dillian White. Okay, so Hearn, who represents White, bid a tremendous $32.2 million. However, was handsomely outbid, allegedly, by Fury's co-promoter Frank Warren. Where did Frank get the money from? He got the money from the upfront money, the front money. Got that money from Bob Arum, who is the co-promoter. So it's nothing behind the scenes. He's on paper. It's a co-promotion between Bob Arum and Frank Warren. It's happening in the UK, so it would appear. So Frank Warren's the front man on this one. Okay. And they stamped down a record-breaking $41 million to secure the promotional rights. Okay, we talked about this on previous live shows. We don't believe you. You need more people. We don't believe that $41 million was stumped up at all. We think it's probably more like $31 million. But they put 10 on top of Phantom 10. What was I watching yesterday? Oh, damn, we're going to touch on that as well. Damn, this is going to be action-packed night. Randy Couture has been speaking even recently about how the UFC does business and that keep the champions quiet by, slipping them some extra money, behind the scenes money, a little slipping, a little big brown paper bag, a little pat on the back. This is for you, but just keep it quiet because they're trying to keep the expenditure down, or rather on the spreadsheet, they're trying to keep the wage bill apparently low, so that they can go to the next man down, next man who isn't the champion, the third ranked guy, the fourth ranked guy, the fifth ranked guy, and say, what are you talking about? You want $1 million? Randy Couture gets $1 million, and he's number one. Even Randy Couture doesn't get $1 million, and he's number one. And they'll be giving him a little bit of money under the table. So yeah, keep this quiet. So they want to keep the income of the fighters They want to keep their income levels down, and we're going to talk about that too. But the same way you can manipulate the books like that, one way to lower them. You can manipulate the books to raise them. Yeah? To raise what it appears you're actually spending, to lower what it appears you're actually spending. Yeah, you can raise it or lower it. So, yeah, you can fiddle the books, alter perception. Okay, so let's get a little bit deeper into this. Where are you going? Yeah, 41 million. So that's what I feel. I think it's 31 million with the Phantom 10 on top. They say to Tyson Fury, yeah, we're going to make out that you're getting a record purse. You're not really, but it's going to look good for you. It's going to raise your stakes. It's going to raise your profile. It's going to be good for you. It's good for you because people think you're getting paid more than you actually are. And it's good for us because we can win this bid with the Phantom 10 mil so long as you agree with it and it's in your best interests. Okay. So let's have a look. What's going on here? Okay, people populating the area, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, but the like button first. Like button first and take it from there. Okay, I got that exactly. Oh, Philip Carl Roberts is up in the building. Okay, Malcolm Marcel, the Leon Figures. Okay. Hearn is known to lose a few purse bids, indeed. Bob bankrolled Frank, indeed. There's no doubt about it. Okay. So we got a Furyite in the building. Cristiano Wu, how do you do? It's good to have you Fury guys up in here too. You know what I mean? It's a broad church. We don't exclude people. Whether you're blind, deaf, dumb, blind, you got leprosy, you can come in here and talk. Get some ointment though. You probably need to go to visit the doctors. Wear your mask. Okay. Expecting more fake mental health problems. Well, I don't think he can do that, surely. I don't think Fury can do that, surely. And also lost to Josh Warrington v. Kid Galahad purse bid. Pretty sure that was all Warren's money in that one. Damn, how the hell could Warren win a purse bid? Genuinely, I think that was a Warren bid for real. Can Fury hold it together? Hey, he seems to be in fine form. He's talking a big one after running away from Dillian White for how many days? Just like his predecessor, Deontay Wilder, didn't want nothing with Dillian White. It seemed like Tyson Fury didn't want nothing with Dillian White, but now the fight's made. What the hell can he do? Now he's acting like Dillian White's running away from him. OMG. Okay. Yeah, I think Eddie definitely wants to lose this one. It'd be funny if White KOs Fury. I think it's a very real possibility. Hearn pretty much never wins a purse bid. Must be the accountant in him. I think he did good. To lose. Which is what he wanted to do. I did an interview breaking it down. Yes. Where are we? Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Okay. Let's get back into... Hold on. What's going on the screen? Yeah. Let's bring that down. Okay. So, yeah, the fight's been targeted to take place on April the 23rd, potentially at Cardiff's Principality Stadium. And the contest will be showcased on pay-per-view in the United States and the UK. through BT Sports and ESPN. Okay. We would have lost a lot of money. And Fury probably wouldn't have taken the fight at the price we were willing to pay. Hearn told the MMA Hour, "We don't get on all the time. I do have a lot of respect for him, but you never know what you're going to get with Tyson Fury. Of course, I'd like to have promoted the fight, but you have to put a number which you're prepared to lose. Yeah, you have to put up a number which you're prepared to lose. The minute you start acting on ego is the minute you make a catastrophic error, which could cost you millions of dollars. I don't play that game. I don't play that game. Absolutely. It's like, I don't know if any of you have been to auctions where, some people bid on emotion. They just like the thing, or they want the thing, or they get into an ego situation with somebody else who's bidding, and they bid above and beyond the limit, the sensible limit, which they had previously set themselves. You set yourself a sensible limit that you can afford, and you go up to that point, but not beyond. So, like Eddie Hearn says, we would have lost a lot of money going any higher. Okay. So you got to be sensible. You got to be prudent. I don't play that game. I back our guys, but to a point where we understand the business. If you start going with your doodah and you're bidding 10 million over the number, and you finish the show and look at the bottom line, and you've done 5 to 10 million, well done. That's great business. If we didn't turn up, they would have saved millions of dollars as the only bidder. Exactly. He got them to dig deep. They had to. The WBC has advised both boxers to submit fully executed contracts by February the 21st. So where are we now? Okay. So we got 17 days to go, 18 days to go. Okay. So as of this morning, we haven't received the contract. That's not unusual, but we don't have it. It's a process you go through. Someone said to me, I've gone quiet, but I've lost the purse bid. It's not my fight to promote. I'm not out here trying to hype the fight. I'm here to support Dillian. Okay, so let's talk about Dillian White. Why is Dillian White gone quiet? People are asking why Dillian White's gone quiet. Says Dillian is just chilling and training. There's a way to deal with Fury. And sometimes going on the quiet side works. Do you really want to get in a slanging match with Fury and use all that energy? Do your work, do your training, and go out and try and knock him out. Try and knock his block off. There are no conversations about another direction. This is the only direction. I repeat to you, there's only one direction. One direction. And I hear the pop. And in comes the man like the John D. Lee. John D. Lee, how do you do?
I'm good, Raph.
Whoa.
Can you hear me all right?
Yep. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, what are you feeling, John? What are you feeling about this?
Dillian White's
gone quiet. The people are saying Dillian White's gone quiet.
Yeah, well, I think that is a good way to deal with Fury. It's not the only way.
No.
I think it's a way of actually getting back at Frank Warren, more than anything, and Bob Arrow.
Absolutely. They went quiet before.
Well, it's not just the quietness. So if you think about it from a business point of view, when Dillian fights on Eddie Hearn's platforms, he owns the show.
Yeah.
He gets a good percentage of the pay-per-view, gate, and various other things. So Dillian has an interest in selling the fight.
Absolutely.
And selling the fight is usually moving off. I mean, that's been the way, certainly since Muhammad Ali took lessons off, was it Gorgeous George?
Yeah.
And how to sell fights. Mm-hmm. So that's the purpose of talking, really.
Yeah.
Just talking, as it were.
Absolutely.
But a way of spiting Bob and Frank Warren for sticking it to him financially is to do nothing to sell the pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got a guaranteed purse.
Absolutely.
It's a bit passive-aggressive, but I actually think that might have a large part to do with it. It's like, well, you've given him a tiny slice of the pie. Why is he going to go and spend his time working on selling the fight when he needs to worry about winning the fight, not selling it?
100%. And of course, I saw another piece. Where did I see that piece? I can't remember where I saw it, where I heard it, where I read it, or I heard it spoken. I can't even remember. But where did I see that piece? It don't really matter. Don't really matter. But what does matter is that the content and the argument was that Dillian Whyte is gone. Another reason Dillian Whyte is being quiet is because, of course, he's got a case going, an outstanding case with the arbitrator, and he doesn't want to say anything that's going to negatively impact the case in any way.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah, certainly.
When is the arbitrator due to?
The arbitrator is due to send in his final decision in the early part of March.
Because I think the WBC are trying to do Whyte out of that arbitration. They've given him a deadline to sign the contracts, haven't they? Isn't it the 28th of Feb?
27th, isn't it? 27th or 28th of Feb.
So I think the WBC are trying to circumvent the arbitration by putting that deadline in.
That's funny as hell because it's before the arbitrator is due.
No, yeah, exactly. Like, so I think that's also part of the silence. Although, in my opinion, I think Dillian should take the fight.
Yes,
because if he beats Fury, even if he's at 20%, he knows what his purse is now.
Hell yeah. Well,
he knows what his purse is.
Not yet. He knows what the minimum purse could be.
Yeah, well, the pay-per-view sales, he's got to make a decision on how much work he wants to put into that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he needs to concentrate on winning the fight more than getting involved in those sort of things.
100%.
He should just attend whatever press conference he's obligated to do, which should be announcing the fight date and fight week. And I don't think he should do anything else.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he's got to be focused on being the best Dillian Whyte he can be.
100%. And of course, there's the legal situation. He doesn't want to get words taken out of context. So let me turn myself up in the
No. What I'm trying to say, Raphie.
No, what you're saying. What you're saying. What I'm saying is that there's a legal aspect. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, that's good. There's a legal aspect which he doesn't want to fall foul of. He doesn't want any words taken out of context. He doesn't want to be misquoted, as well as he doesn't want to be misquoted either. So there's another aspect to him being quiet, not just a question of knuckling down, which of course I'm sure he's doing. So there's the knuckling down to the task at hand, but also not falling foul for any tabloid-like headlines, getting words twisted, misconstrued, taken out of context. So it's multi-layered is what I'm saying.
But if he signs the fight before the arbitrator, doesn't it nullify the arbitrator's ruling?
Well, the arbitrator has a final decision, though. The arbitrator is the final adjudicator about what's fair. So the arbitrator...
So would that be his potential? Because we haven't read the contract.
We haven't read the contract, but we do know that the arbitrator is going to have the final say on the purse split, and he will decide what is fair and right. So
I understand that that's the arbitration process, but because they've said you have to sign the contract before the arbitrator rules. Yeah. If he signs something where a contract says this is the purse split irrespective of what the arbitrator says.
Well, he can't say that. He can't say irrespective of
what they can't put that into a contract.
They can't put that into a contract.
All right. Well, I'm not going to argue about that. It just seems funny that they want him to sign before the arbitrator.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is funny. I'm sure it is funny.
With these particular individuals, they don't fly straight, do they?
They certainly do not. They most certainly do not.
They're as bent as a bottle of crisps.
Absolutement. But Dillian Whyte, I think his protection is the arbitrator. I think the arbitrator's decision supersedes what's written in the contract, and they can't have a clause in the contract saying this supersedes what the arbitrator says. No, the arbitrator supersedes what the contract says. He's there to do what is to adjudicate what is right and fair. That's what we have been informed.
All right. Well, also to chuck it back onto Fury, when Hearn presented him with a contract to fight Anthony Joshua last year, how long did he sit on that without saying anything?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
more than a bloody
payback.
week. We're not even a week in yet, are we?
Payback is you know what I'm saying? So there's a little bit of payback involved, I suspect, because when the boot was on the other foot, Fury was quiet as a church mouse. And so I think that's that might be an element in it. That might be a tranche. What's going on here? I talked to a random person in the street and said, okay, what's this? Wallin put a stop to Fury saying that he can't be hit. He did. He did put an end to that. Most certainly did. Fury has never made a profit according
to... A few people got in there before Wallin did, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Neville Page. Yeah, he's been punched up a few times, but that was in the past. And I think some people might have needed a refresher course. You know,
yes,
needed a memory refreshing, and Otto Wallin did refresh people's memories. Fury has never made a profit according to Bob. OMG. But yet he's just putting a record bid, a winning record bid. Okay, don't add up.
I'll tell you what doesn't add up. I don't believe Fury's getting the purses that are being put out there.
No way.
I think they did that to inflate his value for an Anthony Joshua fight.
Yes, they did. I mean, when Top Rank came out, when the news came out, the Top Rankers, Tyson Fury's got a record-winning contract with Top Rank. What did they say? Was it 100 mil, 50 mil, whatever it was, 50 mil for 5 fights, or 100 mil, whatever it was. And then they spoke to Bob Arum about the figure that was out there in the press. He said, "What? I don't know anything about that." So that figure, I always suspected was highly inflated. And when you look at the numbers, it just don't add up. Sorry. But Bob Arum is not a man known for throwing his money around. Bob Arum don't make it rain. Bob Arum don't make it rain, and he's not interested in making it rain. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at what makes sense and what don't make sense. You got to look at what's logical and what's illogical. And when you look at the numbers, when you compare the numbers, when you look at Tyson Fury's numbers, how many people go to see him or don't go to see him, how much is alleged to be paid? Come on, if it don't add up, it don't make sense. Okay, and it's got to add up for Bob Arum. Let's go through a few of these. Comments. Let's have a look. What's this? Wallin was world number 49 when he gave Fury hell. Oh, Lord. Hope you are all well. Respect from Redditch in the West Midlands. How you doing? Matthew Armitage. How are you? Okay, we got GT, the PT, up in the building. OMG. Okay, I like that. It rhymed. Let's have a look. D. Douglas, Rungzasai is a dangerous fighter. Yes, indeed. Okay. He hasn't been given an upside from the PPV, so it would appear. We talk about Dillian White's upside. Don't appear like he's got an upside. That don't look good. But anyway, the arbitrator is yet to arbitrate, so we're going to see about that.
But if he hasn't got an upside, why on earth should he be out there in the press promoting the fight?
There you go. Where's the incentive? He can just sit back. Well, not sit back, but just keep himself in training camp. Go out when he's obligated to go out and do nothing more, much like Tyson Fury was doing throughout the negotiations with Anthony Joshua for unification. Tyson Fury, you will recall, went on radio silence. Team Fury are some dodgy geezers, says a Philip Carl Roberts. OMG. And Fight Doctor is up in the building. Okay. Fury needs to get his British license before White signs, in my opinion. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. But White's going to sign.
I think that's a red herring.
Yeah, White's going to sign.
Well, it's not even that, though. If he doesn't get his British Board in Boxing control license, what was... I think you were going to go to the fight. The Dark Destroyer was getting some moody license, wasn't he?
Yeah, the Dark Destroyer, and going all around Europe. They said there was going to fight.
He had some random license for that NEC fight that never happened.
Oh yeah, but even before that, I think there was talk. There was talk about.
You got a moody license over at some point.
Yeah. You can get moody licenses. You can get moody licenses from a board and fight in the UK. And what's his name as well? David Hay. David Hay, didn't David Hay have an episode?
Yeah, I think he's had a few moody ones, hasn't he?
He's had a few moody ones himself. I think Dillian is the only one who could win a presser battle against Fury. Would be interesting to see how Fury performs when he's not in someone's head before they step in the ring. I believe it when I think Joshua would be good as well. I think Joshua would come with just some pinpoint accurate statements to get in the smoke and mirrors.
I think Joshua lives in Fury's head rent free anyway.
I do believe that Joshua is in Fury's head rent free.
Because Fury is insanely jealous of the success that Anthony Joshua's had.
Insanely jealous.
That
it's very
jealousy
clear.
Eats him alive every day.
It's become very, very clear, the jealousy. And that's why you get the inflated Tyson Fury purses, this bogus record-making bid, which I don't believe for a second. It's just fudging the books. They're fudging the books. Fury always produces the goods when he has to. Okay, we got a Tyson Fury fan in here, another one, and that's good. Good to have you up in here.
I'm going to throw that back to Matthew Armitage because he also avoids fights when he shouldn't, when he doesn't think he can win.
And
he did not rematch Vlad. He pulled out the Ustinov fight. Immediately after the Deontay Wilder, he pulled out the rematch. He strategically dropped the British title to avoid David Price. Fury is very good at taking the fight when he thinks he can win it. So all of this, he pulls it out on the stage. No, he avoids it when he doesn't think he can do it as well. You've got to consider that. Because, there's been times where other people, mate, perhaps should have backed away from fights because they tried to do it. Joshua's done.
The Fight Doctor being
Fight Doctor is nothing but consistent.
The Fight Doctor, I have to give you 10 out of 10 for your consistent trolling, my dear fellow. 10 out of 10.
The thing is, Fight Doctor,
your consistent trolling. Well done, old chap. Well done, old boy.
If you actually are a fan of if you are a fan of boxing and Joshua is genuinely done, what that means is we potentially have Usyk Fury to look forward to. And if you have a long think about how entertaining that fight's likely to be, I think you might want to rethink how pleased you are about that statement.
Why would you be pleased? Why would somebody be pleased if Joshua were really done? I'm sure you're an American fella. I'm sure you would have liked to have seen Deontay Wilder in there. So why would you be happy? Why would you be happy that your boy Deontay Wilder lost $100 million? Fought Fury instead for less money. Remember your boy Deontay Wilder admitted in an interview on tape. It's on wax. It's on tracks. He admitted, I fought Tyson Fury for less money than I could have got fighting if I'd have signed to fight, and than I would have got if I'd have fought Anthony Joshua. OMG. Where are we? Let me go back a few comments. It's going to take 1.6 PPVs to make the 40 mil, but it'll be pay-per-view over in America as well, over on ESPN. I think they should make that half price over there, but I don't think they will. So they've got more opportunity to make money over in the States. How well that'll do, in the daytime over there. The PPV is yet to be seen. But Tyson Fury has never been a really big seller over in America unless he was fighting Deontay Wilder, the American ex-champion. Okay. What is this here? Okay, I'm going back. I think I've already done that. Okay. So yeah, they got a few opportunities to recoup that money, but I don't think it's 40.
I don't
think it's 41 mil though. I think it's actually less that they have to make back because I think they've fudged the books. They've played with the numbers. They've told Tyson Fury, hey, we're gonna say we're paying you 31 mil. Or we're actually paying you more like 19 or something like that. So we're gonna have to fudge the books, and that'll help us get it across the line. What's going on here? Once again, the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent wants to change the topic. Well, actually, Fight Doctor.
We're trying to talk about Dillian Whyte Tyson Fury, Fight Doctor. Why did you even bring up Joshua?
You're the one.
Kettle Black.
You're the one who changed the subject. But nice try, old boy. Nice try. Few more mushrooms. Let's
declare this an Anthony Joshua free zone. We're trying to talk about Tyson Fury and Dillian.
We can talk about Anthony Joshua later if you so wish. Actually, there is an Anthony Joshua topic.
That is a place where AJ lives rent-free inside the Fight Doctor's head.
Lives rent-free inside Tyson's head and the Fight Doctor, apparently. So it appears. Okay, you're probably Anthony Joshua's biggest fan, the Fight Doctor. You spoke about him more than any other boxer in recent memory. And that cannot be, and that is undisputed, old chap. Okay, it'll be interesting to see the price point. My 1.6 PPV buys is based on £25 price point. Yeah, £25. But what I'm saying is that they don't have to rely solely on the UK market to recoup because it's a PPV in America also. So yeah, and so they got opportunities, but we will see about that. Okay, damn, that took a long time to get through. We had to unpack it. But so let us move swiftly on. There's a bunch of things that I hope to be able to get through tonight, including might talk a little Audley Harrison. OMG, very controversial figure. And if you haven't seen the interview with my interview with Audley, and hey, feel free to check it out after this, of course. Raphie Fight Doctor wouldn't be Fight Doctor if he didn't hate. I think he's a Joshua lover. You can't talk about somebody so much and not have a deep affection for them. Alexandra Ilbs up in the building. Alexandra. How do you say that name? Alexandra. That's Alexandra, right? That reads Alexandra. Alexandra up in the building. Okay, so let us. Oh, we got the Lady Shan up in the building. How do you do, Lady Shan? And of course, up in the building, the Lisa Bales. Lisa Bales, good to have you. Okay, so believe it or not, I'm actually a Joshua fan. I believe you're a Joshua fan. I believe it. There's no doubt in my mind. You're one of his biggest fans.
I think that's why he keeps talking about him being done. He's so distraught by the prospect, he can't think about anything else.
He's distraught. Tears at bedtime and all that stuff. Okay, so let us continue on. What do I want to do with this? I think I want to go back. Let me go back. And where are we? Got a bunch of windows open. I don't want to. Oh, okay. I just want to touch on this real. It's going to take me off course a little bit. No, not really. Kind of not. I got to do it anyway. I want to do it. I want to touch on it. I may make it real brief. Okay. So, not sharing. Let's start sharing. Boom. 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 Okay, so Eddie Hearn says the split the UFC took, because we're talking about splits, we're talking about purse splits. So we're just going to touch on this for a couple of minutes. Okay, Eddie Hearn says the split the UFC took from Conor McGregor for the Floyd Mayweather fight is outrageous, and explains why the notorious one became a nightmare for Dana White. Okay, the fight doctor is up in the building. OMG. Introduce yourself, peep. Introduce yourself to the people. Fight doctor.
Fight doctor's in the house on Rick James status as always.
OMG. Fight doctor. Talk to me. Talk to me.
No, listen, we're talking about Eddie Hearn. We can revisit the whole Anthony Joshua conversation in due time.
Okay, good man. Good man. Okay, so let me crack on with this. Yeah, so I read that. Okay, so Eddie Hearn believes Conor McGregor becoming bigger than the UFC presented a problem for the company. Today, the UFC is under constant scrutiny for fighter pay, but McGregor is something of an outlier in that department, as the box office sensation makes sums beyond the vast majority of his peers combined. Okay, we're talking about this because we're talking about purse splits, we're talking about money, we have talked about Francis Ngannou's war with the UFC. We talked about Randy Couture going through the same thing before him. And we're just doing this real brief, but it's something I wanted to touch on. And Randy Couture came out with a recent interview with Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour. And he said that he's been there before, which I know he's been there before. Some of you may know he's been there before when he was in a fight purse negotiations dispute with the UFC. And it came up, it was shown, the facts and figures are there. It's shown that the UFC, out of all sports, the UFC is probably the worst when it comes to the percentage that they keep for themselves and the percentage which goes for their workers, the fighters. They're the stingiest, the meanest. The percentage they give is outrageously low. Okay, pay-per-view revenue is a key difference maker in McGregor's profits as opposed to his peers, and he has headlined 8 of the UFC's top 10 best-selling PPV events ever. However, even for someone like the notorious one, the UFC found a way to take a big slice of the pie for his Mayweather boxing fight, and Hearn found the split to be outrageous. I'd love to see what the relationship behind the scenes is like, managing Conor. Reports are when he boxed Mayweather, they split the purse 50-50 between Conor and the UFC. So there's a lot of people talking about Conor got 300 million, and first of all, that was an inflated figure. So let's say it's 250, and then he had to split that down the middle. So 125 a piece. That's outrageous. But at the same time, I understand that he's in a contract and he's not allowed to take the fight. So to do that, that's the deal. He told Ariel Helwani. So yeah, we're talking about fight splits. We just talked about. I just had to touch on that because Ngannou is going through what Randy Couture had to go through before him, and so yeah, the UFC covering themselves in dishonor. That's what happens when you're pretty much running a damn near monopoly. So I don't know. Anybody want to touch on that for a second? Sorry?
Isn't it a total monopoly, Ralph?
Well, no, there's other. I mean, listen, I was on an MMA board. I still am. I don't use it though for years. I think I'm a 15-year veteran on this particular MMA board. And I raised the question. I raised the thread. I put in there UFC monopoly, and people got very technical about it. They said rather than debate the point, I said it's not a monopoly. So okay, technically speaking, it's not a monopoly, but they're the only big player in town, or they're the biggest player in town. And
it's like the Premiership's relationship with the lower league.
Yes, exactly. So
it might as well be. I mean,
it might as well be, even though technically they're not.
For our American friends, it's like the major league versus the minor leagues in baseball.
Exactly. The fight doctor, your thoughts and observations, real quick, real smooth like.
So I've heard people throw around a term, fighters, or a phrase, fighters get paid too much. And every time I hear that phrase, I think that the person who allows those words to come out of their mouth has room temperature IQ. I look at this situation with the UFC and Conor McGregor. I didn't know that this is news to me.
Okay.
And if it's true, that's beyond ridiculous. Because how can you justify taking half a man's purse when he's the one who's getting punched in the head? You might be orchestrating the business behind the scenes, but look, I've never seen Dana White volunteer to stand in a boxing ring for 12 rounds to get hit in the head. I've never seen Bob Arum, Don King, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren. I've never seen any of those clowns train for 8 weeks and take punches for 45 minutes. I've never seen that. So until I do, I don't want to hear, this is ridiculous. 50-50? I just don't, it defies logic and reason. But again, that's the sport of boxing. When you talk about defying logic and reason, Exhibit A, the sport of boxing. And by extension, the UFC.
But let me just ask a point, because it's something I don't understand in this situation. My understanding of the Mayweather versus McGregor fight, which I took no notice of because I did not consider it to be a boxing match, did the UFC play any part in the promotion of that event?
No.
So they actually contributed nothing?
Nope.
So that's just like an ownership contract they have over another human being?
Yeah, it's like a slave contract, yeah.
I thought I'd let you use that word.
Well, you could use it too, equally.
I'm aware of that, but I was just putting it out there to see if people got where I was coming from.
Yeah.
I was being subtle.
I'll get you.
But yeah, whilst it wasn't done in the best taste, this is the sort of thing that Hearn Sr. was talking about, old school fight contracts.
Yes. Oh, Lord. Are we going there?
We don't need to go there, but the point is the UFC is still in those dark ages.
I like that. I like that. Boom, boom, boom. Well, that was almost Raphie like. That was almost Raphie status. John Daly is stepping up. He's coming up on the inside. Go on, John. And it's John Daly on the inside. Oh, MG. Gonna have to spike his horse next time. Gonna have to dope his horse. Is coming up on the inside. Oh, what's this cat here? Sorry, my attention has been distracted just for a moment. Let me take care of that. Okay, done. What are people saying? What are you totally agreeing to, Matthew? What are you totally agreeing to? What's going on? What's the big? What liars are the biggest? Lisa, the biggest liars in boxing. Honest? What? I don't understand the statement, my friend. What do you mean?
Yeah, I think he's having a conversation with Lisa, isn't it?
Yeah, he's having a conversation. I can't go back.
Both parts.
I can't go back to figure out what it is. Okay. So where are we now? We're moving on because they've got a lot to cover. Eddie Hearn insists he's not disappointed to lose to Tyson Fury. We've done that. Eddie Hearn explains Dillian White's silence since the Tyson Fury purse bid. We've done that. Eddie Hearn says UFC fighters are underpaid as he weighs in on the Francis Ngannou situation. As we know, we've kind of done that. I'll just bring up the picture, though. No, it's the same picture. Why are they using a picture of Anderson Silva? Oh, that's pointless. Okay, here it is. All right, this makes sense. I'll share this for a couple of seconds before we move on, because this is the man we're talking about, of course. It's Francis Ngannou in contract dispute, purse dispute, says he's underpaid, and we've already established that the UFC are chronic underpayers. Poor Evans, and I know what his favorite song is by that Avatar. I know what his favorite song is. Let me guess. It's by Tom Jones, and it's good to touch the green grass of home. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Paul Evans. Okay. So, yep, contract dispute. I don't think we need to go into that anymore. We've done it. Francis Ngannou. Hold on, what's this? Tyson. Okay, we'll touch this. Tyson Fury is set to make around 29 million. Capola. Call that maybe 19 mil. If he gets 19 mil, it'd be good for him. It'd be very good for him. And Dillian White, his challenger, will make 7.4 million from the upcoming WBC heavyweight title fight once it's made official. Francis Ngannou, however, won the undisputed heavyweight title at UFC. Undisputed? What are you talking about? There's only one. There's only one. They always put on this. There's only one. There's only one UFC title holder per belt. So he's naturally undisputed heavyweight. He's the UFC heavyweight champion. He can't say he's undisputed of all MMA heavyweight champions because they don't do intercompany competition. So he's the UFC heavyweight title champion. Yeah. And probably the best. Okay, fair enough. Say that, but don't say undisputed when they don't do intercompany competitions or title fights. And made $600,000. And so, boxing and UFC is UFC, but in no way does anyone get the impression that that's the upper limits of what they could or should be paying their heavyweight champion. So we're going to leave that there. Or else we'll be there talking about this topic all night long. There can only be one. The Red Glove Militant. Haven't seen the Red Glove in a while. Good to see they're still around. Red Glove Militant. How do you do? Good to have you up in the building. Okay. So let's crack on. Let's come out of that now. What's the next thing? Let me go to my... Where are we? Let's do a little quick check if there's anything up there that I want to deal with. Or do I just shut that down now? Yeah, I think I can shut that down. What else is there? Is there anything that I want to deal with on the screen, or do I go into my special folder? Well, let me bring this up, although we're not really gonna. Okay, well, Fight Doctor, you can maybe wax lyrical on this one while I go into my special bag of tricks. Talk about Dillian White's disappearance, the Fight Doctor. What's your take on Dillian White? What's your take on Dillian White's lack of volume on this? He ain't saying much, certainly not to the press. Well, what's your take on this? I've given my take. John's given his take. What's your take?
Well, maybe he figures that he's being screwed, and the best thing for him to do is to bite his tongue, show up on fight night, and deliver. Okay? Because this is just wrong. 80-20, really? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Maybe Dillian White and Eddie Hearn are looking at some alternative where they can make more money. Because, look, at the end of the day, fighters have a short shelf life. And one fight can end your career. And they call it prize fighting for a reason. So my thought is that you should chase the bag. And whichever bag is biggest is the one you need to go after. So 80-20 ridiculous. Maybe they're lining up a better option, which is why they're quiet. Okay. But, if I were Dillian White and I had no other options, I would remain quiet too, because I would use this as motivation because I'm being screwed. And my sole purpose would be to turn this diabolical scheme on its head come fight night.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just put a quick theory out there, though?
Yep.
That's somebody else has put forward.
Yep.
Mine. It's well-known other channels theory in that this purse split, which was requested by Bob Arum from the WBC potentially is a way of ensuring that Eddie Hearn can't win the purse bid. Because Eddie Hearn, if he was going to outbid them, he'd be giving all this money to somebody who's not his fighter. So it's a way of rigging the purse bid, especially if they've actually fudged the figures and Tyson Fury is not going to get the reported purse.
I'm pretty sure they fudged the figures.
I am very confident that they fudged.
I'm confident. I'm very confident.
I'm confident that they will. That if you actually listen to when Bob Arum was talking about how he'd lost money on Tyson Fury, he's very inconsistent in that interview. And
hold on. Bob Arum did an interview where he said he's lost money on Tyson Fury?
Yeah, it's on Barbershop Conversations channel, isn't it?
Oh, you have to check that out.
It's pretty old. I think it's after the second Wilder fight from back then. But they'd had the second Wilder fight, and he's 1 minute he's saying he's in the red, and the other minute he's saying he's making money. And an interpretation of that could be he's trying to remember that actually we're lying to the people about how much we're paying Tyson Fury, for reasons that we've already put forward. So I've got to say he's made a loss when he hasn't really.
Who's made a loss?
Well, Arum hasn't really made a loss because he hasn't really paid Tyson Fury what he's reported to have paid.
Inflated figures. Inflated figures. I said it from the start. Those figures.
Yeah, I agree with that idea. But the other thing is, to fight Doctor's point, I don't think Dillian can actually get a bigger purse. Irrespective, ignore the percentage splits. The actual figure that he's guaranteed, I don't think he can outdo that. That will be his biggest purse, won't it?
Probably be his biggest.
I don't think there's a fight out there that will give him a bigger purse at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fight Doctor, you wanna come back on that?
So, well, if he can't get a bigger purse, then what he has to do is win.
Yeah.
Win the fight, and then in the rematch, demand 80-20 your way.
There can be no rematch. It's a mandatory fight, and there's only
right. It's right. Well, they're gonna want a rematch.
Yeah, but he's not obligated to give them it.
Right. I understand that. But what I'm saying is this: is that Dillian Whyte beats Tyson Fury. Camp Fury is going to want a rematch.
But there's the undisputed fight,
and
which Dillian Whyte could go for, which might give him more money.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But if I'm Dillian Whyte, I beat Tyson Fury. If and when there's ever a rematch, I want 80-20 my way. Or no fight.
Or just don't give him the rematch. Really stick it to him financially.
Follow the bag, basically. Follow the bag. Follow the bag. Wherever the biggest bag is, follow the bag. Don't give him the rematch if it's not the biggest bag. Real simple, real smooth, How about just a fair percentage to start with? Then both of them may promote the fight. Exactly.
Well, how about a fair percentage in this fight?
That's what he's saying.
I think that's what Big Boys is saying, but it's a bit late for that now.
That's what he's saying.
Shout out to Big Boys Boxing. How about a fair percentage in this fight?
I agree in principle, but I don't have a time machine to rewind things. Bob asked for this 80-20 split quite some time ago. I think it was December, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. What he's saying, they shot themselves in the foot. If Dillian Whyte doesn't cooperate, then they shot themselves in the foot.
In so many ways, if Dillian wins that fight, they've got nothing to do with the heavyweight championship of the world anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Mondo.
They can't even claim ring or lineal because they'll have lost it in the ring. They'll have nothing. So if Dillian beats
Fury gets knocked out. If Fury gets knocked out by Whyte, Fury is going into retirement.
Probably.
Very possible. Very possible.
But what Dillian walks away with is not just the WBC, it's the lineal, so-called lineal. And well, the argument for this lineal is it was number 1 versus number 2 in the second Wilder Fury fight.
Mm-hmm.
So that creates an argument to say that's a lineal, lineal.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's an argument for it.
It's very possible.
They also got the Ring magazine on the line, title on the line for that. Mm. So currently, if Tyson Fury dropped the WBC, he could say he's the Ring Magazine champion and the lineal. If Dillian knocks him out, that's it. It's gone. Everything's gone because he's lost it in the ring. Dillian becomes lineal, Ring, and WBC. So they actually have nothing left.
Yeah. Never heard of a fight that went to purse bid that has a rematch clause. That's an interesting point. If Fury gets knocked out, he goes into retirement. Yep, that's very possible. Have contracts being sent? Eddie Hearn says he hasn't received one yet. Might be in the post. DT3 up in the building.
So there's been some noise coming from the WBC to the effect that they want, or they're stipulating, White sign the contract by the 21st of February.
27th, I think.
It's several weeks away.
It could be the 21st, actually. It could be the 21st because I did the countdown for the numbers and it was 17 days left. Yes, it's 21st.
So that's still more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah.
So it's not really, it's not pressing yet.
It's not pressing yet, but it's the numbers are out there. The dates are out there. We know the dates now. But hey, guess what? We're moving on. There's so much to get through. The fight doctor. Can Keith Thurman find a place again? I say I ain't going to spend too long on this. But play it out. Oh, hold on. What's the point? What's the name of the guy he's fighting next? What? Barrios. We've been talking about this behind the scenes, and I think there's a picture of Barrios. Barrios is looking big and healthy. Thurman's been out for 2 years? He's been out for another 2 years. Hold on, what's this? Thurman missed all of 2018 and lost his WC belt outside the ring. Thurman managed to fight twice in 2019, moving to pay-per-view with the WBA title loss to the great Manny Pacquiao, and hasn't fought since. So it's 2019, 2020, 2021. Yes, 2 years. It's been out for 2 years, in excess of. But yeah, he's going up against Barrios, who's active, and Thurman inactive. You know, my thing on this, I'm not going to spend too long on it. My thing on this is that, when these cats start making money these days, in the old days of old, they could make nice money, but that it wasn't money that you could just lie back and relax on. It was money where you're making nice money, but you bought this house and then you bought the other house. Then you got a couple of Cadillacs. And you bought one for your mom and your wife's mom and whatever, and you still have to fight to keep your standard of living up. But these days, get a couple of fights, 2-3 fights, win a championship, make a couple of defenses, 2 or 3 defenses, and you can be set for life. And now you've gone from cotton sheets to silk sheets. And of course, as my second favorite boxer of all time, Marvin Hagler, once said, it's hard to get up at 6 a.m. to go running when you're sleeping in silk sheets. So we got the silk sheet man versus the cotton sheet man.
Was it silk sheets or silk pajamas?
Well, it could have been. I think most people say silk pajamas, but I seem to recall it was actually originally silk sheets. I could be wrong, but that's how I remember it from back in the day. But it's now all about the silk pajamas. I'm going back to what I originally remember or believe to remember, which was silk sheets. Talk to me, the fight doctor. You got one man sleeping in silk sheets and another man sleeping on cotton sheets. Talk to me.
So look at this picture right here of Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
And when I first saw these latest images of Keith Thurman, the first thing that popped in my head is it looks like the man has aged 20 years.
Yeah.
Since the last time I've seen him. And did you see the stare down between him and Barrios?
No.
The face off. I'm sorry. This is the face off between him and Barrios.
I haven't seen it.
Now, Keith Thurman is not exactly a small welterweight, right? But standing next to Mario Barrios, I mean, Barrios looks like he could almost compete at middleweight.
Yeah.
Standing next to Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
I never realized Mario Barrios was that big. I'm picking Barrios in this fight. In my mind, Keith Thurman is done. Last two fights, he fought before the Pacquiao fight. Who did he fight? I forget his name, but it was a contender who is not particularly well regarded, and Thurman looked like crap in that fight.
Yeah.
He certainly didn't look stellar in the Pacquiao fight. And he's been off for 2 years. So he's sort of like a part-time boxer now.
Yeah.
You know, Barrios has been in the trenches. So, you know, and the audacity, the
nerve,
hubris to put this fight on pay-per-view, and they want $75, $80? Really?
Mad.
That is that's insane. Crazy. I mean,
insanity. Insania.
Yeah. You know, it's ridiculous. I just have no words. I mean, it's
no words for the craziness. No words for the craziness. John D. Lee, what words you got for this?
Keith Thurman is actually a retired boxer who's been forced to fight for a number of reasons, in my opinion. It's becoming more and more apparent that a lot of people who've been fighting under the PBC banner have not actually been getting the money that we're talking about.
We think they get.
So the reason he's getting up at 6 a.m. to go running is because he's not in silk pajamas. He's in scrubs because they seem to have no money. Yeah. Why the hubris that we've just been referred to about pay-per-view? Again, there's no money to pay the purses. They don't want to front any money for this. And they're recycling fighters because they haven't got money to sign new fighters. There's the amount of reports about them having financial problems is getting extensive. A lot of fighters who should have retired, who I think wanted to retire, are being pulled out of retirement because they don't have access to the money because it's not there, and being made to fight. And then they're putting these unwanted fights onto pay-per-view and they're bombing. The whole thing is a disaster. What was supposed to be a platform that was free, no pay-per-views, that's what is its selling point to start off with, has fallen into a situation where there are no new bright stars coming through. Even their youngest, brightest star, the little fat frog that he is, what's his name?
Javante Davis.
Yes, that fat frog. He's not even young anymore. He's not even new. He's old now. They haven't got any new talent. They're not signing anybody. There are now nearly every single fight possible is on pay-per-view, and they're bringing fighters out who probably actually don't want to be fighting, but don't have access to the money, and quite a few of them are getting vocal about it. Obviously, the other car crash, Javante's mate, Billions, what's his name? Not doing very well for boxers' names today. Broner's being very vocal that he's not getting his money off Uncle Al. And I think there's actually more people in that situation, but they're being less vocal. Keith Thurman being one of them. I don't think he wants to fight.
Keith, one-time Thurman.
Keith, retirement time, please.
Retirement time.
Can I make a real quick point to close out this conversation?
Yeah.
If they were going to put a Keith Thurman fight on pay-per-view, I think a Thurman versus Broner fight on pay-per-view would have made a lot more sense. I would almost be tempted to pay the $75 to see that.
Yeah.
I think I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good call. I thought the second half of the fight Keith did well against, but I enjoyed the fight, to be honest with you. I did enjoy Thurman versus Pacquiao. I enjoyed it. I can't lie.
But let's be honest. How old was Manny in that fight?
Yeah, well, it's not grade A, Manny.
Was he 37, 38?
Yeah, 37, 38. He's 40 now, isn't he? So
yeah, and that's if we've always had Manny's real age as well.
Boom. Well, you know, they're on that Filipino rice and whatever you can get. Don't ask questions. You know, and maybe that kept him kind of sharp. You know what I mean? That street meat. Okay. Okay. What we got here? They want to build Spence versus Thurman if Thurman wins. OMG. Okay, well, it's a good time to start talking about that then. OMG. Okay, let's keep this moving. Oh, not that. Let's keep this moving. It's a fast pace here on the Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio tonight. It's fast paced. Lots of things going on. But let's get into this. Hold on, let me look at the clock. Okay, let's get into this. The Zone's Markowski assures Taylor Serrano will be streamed before Valdez Stevenson starts. Okay, what's this? Jake Paul? Is that his name? Jake? Watching over his fighter Amanda Serrano with illustrious long black hair. Amanda Serrano in the all black with the crop top showing off the abdomen region, and the what is this, leather? Are we talking about both ladies went for the leather pants? Okay, so fashion talk over with. Looks like Marquis. I'm going to call him Marquis. Marquis, the Zone's executive vice president, also can't emphasize enough that the networks and streaming services should avoid counter-programming one another whenever possible. It's inevitable sometimes that there's going to be some clashes. As it relates to April the 30th, however, Marquis considers it imperative to grant this sport's passionate fans the chance to watch both the entire Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano showdown and all of the Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson fight. Okay, so the Zone are going to stream Taylor Serrano from Madison Square Garden. ESPN will televise Valdez Stevenson from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. So we're talking about East Coast. We're talking about East versus West again. It's like Biggie and Tupac all over again. OMG. Okay, so what's this here? Marquis promised during an interview with BoxingScene.com that Taylor Serrano will start in plenty of time for it to end before Valdez Stevenson commences. We've always tried to do that to make sure we don't counter program. Hold on, what's the times? What's the actual times? Hold on. Marquis promised during an interview Taylor Serrano will start in plenty of time for it to end before the Valdez Stevenson starts. Okay, Valdez Stevenson, I'm pretty sure it's going to be too late for me so to watch real time. So looks like I'm going to be rocking with Taylor Serrano. Did I hear a pop? I heard a pop like somebody come in, but I don't see nobody. Okay, so what we saying there? The fight doctor. What we're saying about there? Marquis has been very good with that.
So this is good news, but honestly, this is, no news. I mean, this is a no-brainer because you have one fight that's going to be in the Eastern time zone, and the other fight will be Pacific time zone. Mm-hmm. So 4 hours apart. So typically East Coast main events, the ring walk is like 11 p.m. or sometime after 11 p.m.
Yeah.
So at 11 p.m. on the East Coast is 7 p.m. on the West Coast.
Okay.
And, 7 p.m. on the West Coast, they're still in the middle of preliminaries. So this is not news.
Okay.
This is not news at all. This would be news if both fights were being held in the same time zone. Mm-hmm. Then it would be news, yes. But this is not news. This is a nothing burger.
Okay. Well, hopefully they're going to start it early. Maybe a little earlier than usual over there at the Zone on the Katie Taylor price. Katie Taylor versus Serrano card. So what? So we could watch. Hold on, they should start that well early because we don't want to be up all night to catch that. So they should start that like. What time are we going to be watching that?
Raphie, yeah. Katie Taylor is enormous in New York because of the Irish diaspora there.
So what time are we going to get that for? I wonder what time we gonna get that
It
for?
won't be ridiculous, but it'll be like I would have thought 1 o'clock or
So I think that you are 6 hours ahead of 5 or 6 hours ahead of
5 of
East Coast.
Eastern time.
Right. So then that would put you 9 hours ahead of Pacific time.
Yeah.
I don't know which time zone that Las Vegas is in. I'm assuming it's in a Pacific time zone.
Yeah.
So if it's in a Pacific time zone, you're 9 hours ahead. If it's in the Mountain time zone, then you're 8 hours ahead.
Okay.
But is it Katie's fighting in New York, isn't she?
Katie's fighting in New York, so I'm wondering what time it's going to start over there in New York.
I think it'll be sort of 2 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah, I hope it's not too late, or else I'm missing all of them. I'm missing both of them. I'm not for staying up these days unnecessarily. I mean, I normally wake up anyway, but anyway.
I actually think her biggest gate revenue is Madison Square Garden because of the Irish support she gets there.
Okay, and the Aaron Daly comes in with a nice contribution, becomes a sponsor of the show. A nice contribution. Say salute to the Combat Radio Nation. First time I've caught live in a while. Well, good to have you up in here, Aaron Daly, and showing support for the channel, and you can too. Just by where you're typing right now, just to the left of that, or underneath there, on top of that, but around that vicinity, there's a magical button which allows you to show extra support for the channel. Of course, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit all the good buttons. They're all there for at your disposal. Okay, so that's the Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. I hope that starts nice and early. Raphie don't like to dilly-dally. Raphie likes to get to bed nice and early, start the new day fresh. Okay, let us move on. Let's keep this thing moving. And what we're touching on next. Let's have a little looky. Let's have a look in the magic folder. I'm trying to pick the juiciest of stories, but I can't do everything. Okay, let's go over to my magic. Let's go over to the magic folder 2. And let's see. Hold on. What am I looking for? Right there. Keep it right there. Eddie Hearn. Oh, I'm not going to touch that one tonight. Could touch that one tonight. Yeah, I'll open that up for sure. Don't know whether I'm going to get to that because we're going to have to talk about it. 4 a.m. main event. I hope it's earlier than that. That's them West. I mean, I'm ready 4 a.m. for the West Coast thing, shizzle. I ain't staying up for 4 a.m. I want to get my sleep early morning. I could start early on a Sunday morning. Hats off to the zone for this. Hats off. Yes. I hope it's earlier than that, Lady Shan. I ain't no good for the Raphie. I got a schedule. I like to mind time. What's going on here? And Lisa Bales comes through with more support for the channel. Big up Raphie and chat. Big up the Lisa Bales. 100%. Yeah, unfortunately, they got to bring it earlier. I'm telling them to bring it earlier. I want to bring it earlier, Shan. They got to bring it earlier. Think about the British people, the British public. Just think about the zone.
But the 4 a.m. times are Vegas times.
The Vegas time, really.
If it's Madison Square Garden, it's normally more like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, they can bring it earlier. Bruce goes up in the building, sub with notifications and just got it. Oh Lord, it's so tricky. Those notifications are so tricky. That's why I urge people to follow me on Twitter, because I do oftentimes, although I didn't today, upload it before we go live. So that's the second way to get notified and sanctified. Okay. Yeah. Peace and power. to all. The Iron Kong up in the building. Okay. So let's have a look. Let's get that up there. And where am I going next? Got a couple of options. Raphie can't make up his mind. He can't make up his mind. Let me have a look at the time. Let me try and paste this one. Let me try and okay. We're gonna go to Audley Harrison. Audley Harrison caused a ruckus backstage. OMG. OMG. Hope I'm not sharing that, am I? Dang. For your eyes only. Okay, let's get some volume on this. Okay, the other day I had the pleasure to chop it up with Audley Harrison. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio on Twitter. Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. It's just the channel name. Just the channel name. Notice a lot of people haven't taken up that option. They should do. They should do. What we got here? What's your Twitter name? Audley is he's got a story to tell. He's got a story to tell. Okay. So let's chop it up with Audley. Let's chop it up with Audley. Hey, Fat Doctor, do you remember Audley Harrison? You remember him?
I remember that chin.
OMG. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this nice and sweetly. I had the pleasure, the good fortune to chop it up with Audley the other night. And let's share that. Let's share that with you, the people, for all those who haven't seen it. Let's go.
Right, Raphie, that's Dawkins. Hey, Raphie, what's cracking? How you doing?
So,
There you go.
Audley, how you?
What's cracking, bro?
Bless up, Audley, bless up.
Yeah, one love, King.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Simple.
Where you from?
I'm up in Birmingham.
Birmingham, man. Okay, respect, like. So talk to me. What question you want to throw at the big man?
Who do you rate at the heavyweights right now? Your top three, if you won.
Oh, I like. That's a good question. So let me give it to you. So obviously the dominant king right now is Mr. Tyson Fury. There can be no question. He's beating them, like, you know, Deontay's he's a soldier, isn't it? He's a beast.
Yeah.
And the way like they had 3 fights, but the last fight, because Deontay's father kind of got disrespected, isn't it?
Yeah.
Last fight. Let me go inside. There's a guy coming in.
All right.
I'm gonna walk inside so it's not so loud.
Yeah.
So the last fight Deontay had with Tyson Fury, they said, look, it's like Jeremy McClellan Michael Ben. It wasn't a boxing match. It was like a gladiatorial, who's going to be the last man standing. That's the mentality that I father had.
Yeah.
I Fury did that. And in his, I'm going to box, I'm going to win. But so Tyson Fury beating him, who for me was bad as heavy at the time because he was just so dangerous. So you've got to give the number one, it's got to go to Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
He's the main man. And number two now has got to go to Usyk. It used to be Joshua, but now Usyk is Joshua. So number two is definitely got to be Usyk. And number three's got to be Joshua. That's the top three. And obviously Dylan White's knocking on the door, Josie Clark, but Tyson Fury is ahead of them right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Usyk and Tyson Fury. It's not the fight I want to see. I want to see Tyson Fury and AJ.
Yes.
You know, that's the fight. So AJ's got work to do right now. AJ's behind. He's put himself behind the racing, but that's okay. He can come back, but he can't come back with the same trainer. He can't come back with the same style with Robert McCracken. You know, I'd love to get AJ in my hands. I see all the mistakes that he's making from the Olympic final. The same thing that mistakes he's making then he's making now. They haven't adjusted it.
And you're a southpaw.
I'm a southpaw, yeah, but I'm telling you, in terms of my tutelage, in terms of my train, the people that have trained me, Phil Torrance taught me from the ground up. and broke my style down. And Robert McCracken has some of that style, and Eddie Fox, because they trained him, so he has that too. He has that stuff. I just think he's too busy doing professional boxing, amateur boxing. Not good. Joshua, Dylan White again. Dylan White's got he's hanging around there. He's like number 4, number 5. Dylan White's got a tough night against Tyson Fury because styles make fights. He's small but he has a chance to win. I have a game plan that I would give to Dylan White, and I would implement it as well for him because it's a big enough fight. It's a world title fight. I don't have time to build somebody up from the ground up. I just don't have time. But somebody like a Dylan White, it's a big enough fight where I get paid for what I'm worth, and I'll be able to deliver it. Then I'll be able to take the time. 12 weeks he needs. Don't tell me that if you're fighting Tyson Fury with 9 weeks, you're already making a mistake. Yeah. You need 12 weeks for these kind of big fights. To do a counter fight. So I would love to get any of those guys just to prove. I don't need to prove because I already know. Yeah. I would lead the promised land and get them a victory. So that's my top 3, bud.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Audley. Awesome. Well,
I love you.
Much appreciation for you giving your time like that, and definitely want to hear more from you, and wish you well on your new ventures, and I'll definitely start following.
Boom, boom, boom. The Fight Doctor.
Well, he's certainly correct in his assessment that Joshua needs to find a real trainer. Not just any trainer, a real trainer. Because, drastic changes need to be made. Well, let me walk that back. I think that perhaps there are some fundamental changes that need to be made, but not drastic fundamental changes. So Joshua's problem, in my, from what I see, keep your left foot on the outside. Keep your lead foot on the outside of the lead foot of the southpaw. Use the right hand more. Incorporate the left hook. I mean, he's southpaw. He's right there. He's right there for the left hook. Joshua has a habit of squaring up after he throws the right hand. That needs to be fixed.
Should I bring him in? Should I bring in Audley? His consultancy fee. He's got consultancy fees now. He's a southpaw as well. Fight Doctor, should they bring in Audley? Should Team Joshua, should McCracken go? First question, yeah or nay?
Yes, without question.
Should they bring in Audley to as a consultant?
I mean, Audley was not really a bad heavyweight. I mean, the main knock on Audley that I remember was that chin. It couldn't hurt, to bring in a southpaw to help you fight a southpaw. It couldn't hurt. I mean, Audley's been around the block. Audley has fought a lot of the top names in the sport.
Yes.
So, I definitely could see that, being an advantage for Team Joshua.
He's a southpaw. What's he got to lose? John D. Lee.
Which question?
Should they get rid of McCracken, and should they bring in Audley as a consultant?
Get rid of McCracken, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Talk to him. A conversation? Would a conversation?
Conversation, yes.
Have a conversation.
Conversation, yes. But if you got to pay him to talk to him, it's never going to happen because he gets to talk to Vlad for free.
Gets to talk to Vlad for free. Vlad had trouble. Vlad had trouble.
I'm not saying Vlad's the best person to give him advice for this, but they have a bond.
They do have a bond, but what I'm saying is that.
Can I chime in on that for a second?
What I'm saying is with Audley, you got a southpaw right there. You got.
I understand what you're saying, but with regards to that, I would prefer him to maybe have someone like Joey Gamache, who's a bit more proven. Yeah,
have Joey Gamache, but what I'm saying is, okay, for people who don't know, Audley is doing consultancies now. So the same way you can go and see a specialist on Harley Street, just a one-off, have a look at your fungal toenail. You can go and speak to Audley. Give him a consultancy fee and speak to him. £250 an hour is the flat rate right now. If you want to get deeper, then it's more. But he'll talk to you for £250 an hour. Is that conversation?
That type of money, then yes, because it's nothing.
Yeah.
to them,
Yeah,
that's no money.
that's no money.
No,
Yeah, can I chime in real quick on the Vladimir Klitschko question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go on.
I actually don't think that's a bad idea for Joshua. I mean, say what you will about Klitschko, and there are many chinks in his armor, but beating Southpaws is not one of them. I mean, he does have the 2 wins over Chris Bird, and Chris Bird was, a good heavyweight, Southpaw. Chris Bird, he did beat some names at heavyweight. So, and Vlad didn't have a ton of problems with Chris Bird. So, I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea for Joshua to consult with Klitschko in terms of, how to deal with the Southpaw.
Yeah.
Klitschko couldn't deal with Southpaws. Klitschko is the worst person to talk to about dealing with Southpaws. The worst person to talk to. You got Audley there. You got Audley there, who was a Southpaw himself. I say talk to Audley, pay him the $250 million.
Raphie, the counter to that is the Southpaws are the very worst at dealing with Southpaws because they'd never even spar them.
Oh yeah, that's a good flip side.
So I would not.
At the very least, he could show Joshua some shapes against the Southpaw.
If there's somebody the other person who's good against Southpaws is the guy that Ishmael Salas, because he knows how to defeat Southpaws.
Yeah.
And he's from that Cuban school, and he's proven as well that he can mastermind a game plan for a heavyweight who nobody thought was going to win in Joe Joyce against Triple D. I think Iron Kong. I think that's agreement has finished with K2.
Oh, it's finished with K2. Okay.
I think that has finished.
Okay.
Yes. And with Vlad and Joshua, it's fairly well reported that they're on a personal level. They speak to each other on the phone.
Okay.
So he doesn't have to pay for access to Vlad. Vlad just answers the phone to him and does happily talk to him.
I'm still saying shell out the 250.
Well, I don't think there's anything right. If you think you can learn something from Audley,
and
the amount of money that he's asking for someone like Joshua to pay is nothing.
Yeah, I'm saying talk to him.
I'm not sure what Audley would have to offer Joshua because Audley's style would be all wrong to implement against Usyk because Audley was a clever boxer from range, which is not 100% not what Joshua should be doing against Usyk.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying emulate Audley's style. I'm just saying talk to Audley as a southpaw. But
Southpaws never meet Southpaws, or very, very rarely, and they hate fighting each other.
Yeah, that's true. But Joshua's orthodox. Audley's southpaw. Let Audley talk about being a southpaw. Let have the conversation. Have the conversation. Let Audley talk about being a southpaw. Have the conversation. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So training. Talk to him about training. Bring him in for a day. Get in the ring. Just show some shapes. No contact sparring. You know what I mean? Just let Joshua have a look at another southpaw. Let's show some shapes. Have a look. I've already said he can't participate with Usyk, conflict of interest. Yeah, I can see that. Have a talk, have a conversation. Get him in the ring. He's in the UK and sometime in February. Where's Joshua now? Get him in the ring. Just have a little move around. No contact. Have a little move around. The fight doctor. Have a little move around.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't see how that would hurt. If you bring Audley in to, maybe help explain, like, well, as a southpaw, this is how I beat an orthodox fighter. This is what you need to be on the lookout for. Sit down with a southpaw of Audley's caliber and let Audley break down the fight, point out what Usyk did right, and more importantly, what you did wrong.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah, man. But do it in person, though. That's more than the 250. Audley, I'm promoting your shizzle out here. I'm promoting your shizzle out here.
Working for his portion of that money.
Well, the consultation.
I'm respecting the hustle, Raph. It's relentless.
The deeper consultation.
I'm not sold, though. I think he needs Salas or Joe Gabash. because they've got experience in defeating southpaws.
The deeper consultation costs $5,000. Yes, I said it, $5,000. It goes up from $250 to $5,000. But I'm saying to have Audley, you negotiate that down for 1 and 2. You probably have him in camp for a couple of days just to move around. Yeah, no contact needed. Just move around. Work on your foot positioning. What Joshua needs to do is just repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. Get southpaws in there. And to be honest with you, you don't even need to be punching at first. You actually need to be dancing. Joshua needs to be in the ring with southpaws without even being overly concerned about punching initially. You're just moving around, showing shapes, getting around, moving your man, turning your man. So yeah, it's a low impact way of learning. Getting in there, just touching, just moving around, looking where the openings are, just light taps, just shapes, drawing shapes, learning how to move your opponent, your southpaw opponent, knowing how to move him, knowing how to place him, getting him in the positions where you wanted him, using your footwork, coming around the outside. Just as I say, just come dancing, John Daly.
The thing is, I think Joshua needs to turn this into a nasty fight. So if he's in the pocket, if he's in close quarters, stance becomes less relevant because you're much more squared up, and you shorten your punches up. And also, if he goes back up and watches, come
have a look.
If he goes back and watches where he did have success against Usyk, and it was closer than people thought it was like an 8-4 win for Usyk, in my opinion, something along those lines. Maybe a 9-3. The where he had success was bodywork.
Yeah.
So he needs to go and look at what he actually did right and do more of that, because you've made some really big points about this. Every time you hurt him to the body, he looked as if he was doing something wrong, like that was against the gentleman's agreement. and all he needs to do is batter that body for 3 rounds.
Batter the body.
He's still going to be running around and hard to hit then.
AJ hit him in the rib once.
Shot at Usyk's head for the first 3 rounds.
AJ hit him in the rib once, and Usyk flinched like, Anthony, you hit me. Anthony, why you do that?
Read headshots only.
It looked like he'd been tased. It looked like he'd been tased by the Metropolitan Police.
So I think there's no need to overthink this rematch, really. All he needs to do is not throw any shots at the head. He was trying to out-jab him, and not only out-jab him, but out-jab him to the head, which is the most ridiculous thing you could possibly think to do against Usyk. If he wants to throw the jab, throw it out his chest. All punches should be aimed at the torso for at least the first 3 rounds.
The larger body mass. King Raphie, TKO20 is up in the building. Get them likes in. Get them subscribes in. Hit that bell icon to stay updated with news and notification. AJ's foot placement was all wrong throughout all of that fight. That's why he needs to come dancing. He's right sometimes, he was wrong sometimes. That's why he needs to be moving around. I
retweeted footage of AJ practicing getting the outside foot movement with a southpaw in the training for that fight. And the problem you've got with that is it's something Usyk's particularly good at, winning that battle.
Yes.
So you're playing to his strengths. Forget all of this. Forget all of this of boxing correctly against southpaw. Smash his body, because that clearly worked. And
it does. Yeah.
And he will then start to lose these other battles that people are talking about. And they're right from a technical point of view. Yes, you do want to be on the outside. You do want to win that foot battle if you can. A battle of the jabs is a good idea against southpaw. But AJ lost it last time.
Yep,
You're
did.
playing to Usyk's strengths because he's good at doing this against orthodox boxers, and he clearly does not like it to the body. And AJ landed out well to the body. He didn't miss the body; he missed the head.
Yeah. You don't like it to the body, take it to the body. The fight doctor.
He should give him the Bernard Hopkins treatment.
100%.
He should give him the Bernard Hopkins treatment.
Totally agree.
Bernard Hopkins is one of my favorite fighters. Way underappreciated for what he brought to the ring, because he made the art of cheating. He took it to a science, and in the process of cheating, he could do it in a way that I personally found very entertaining. I mean, there would be Bernard Hopkins.
He had impeccable ref dar. He always knew where the referee was.
He always knew where the referee was. And when the referee could not see what he was doing with his other hand, he'd hit you low every time.
Yeah.
And I swear there would be Bernard Hopkins fights. I would be in tears laughing at this masterclass of cheating going on. Okay. And I don't endorse cheating, but in Bernard Hopkins' case, he gets a pass because
he was good at it.
He was the master. And
I agree with that, Doctor. I agree with all of that.
And what I appreciate most about Bernard Hopkins is that if you were a boxer, he did not bother trying to box with you. No. If you like to box, okay, I'm going to mug you.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Hopkins could box. All right? He could box with the best of them. But if boxing is your strength, well, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to do something else. And that's what Anthony Joshua needs to do. He needs to understand that boxing with this guy is a non-starter. Okay?
Yeah.
No. Take boxing, push it to the side, implement the Bernard Hopkins planology.
But
okay?
also,
Hold on. Okay, so we go into final words now because Raphie got to get his sleep. So, John Dealey, your final word. Well, first of all, thanks for jumping on. A lot of people didn't get their notifications. If you're not getting your notifications, hit the bell icon so it comes off, then hit it again so it turns on. And so that way you should get your notification. But the John Dealey, talk to me. Final words, please.
I'm going to go back to the original story.
Yeah.
I think Dillian Whyte is not interested in selling the fight because he's not getting any upside from the pay-per-view. I'm suspicious that the arbitrator's rulings will be voided somehow. And he needs to just sign his fight and knock Tyson Fury out, who, as we have seen, is susceptible to left hands and a body attack.
Yes.
And that's what I'm hoping for. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm hoping for. Thanks, Raph.
That was the John D. Lee. Very nice of him to take time out of his day. He's got work tomorrow, so very kind of him to hop on in and share his thoughts with you and I and we. And then there were two, the Fight Doctor. Thanks for jumping on. Kind of you to share your time with the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Nation. And your final words, please.
Thank you for having me, sir. It's always a pleasure to come on your platform. And you know, if you keep playing with that thing too much, you're going to go blind.
Hey, I ain't gone blind yet.
So
I'm decades deep and I ain't gone blind yet.
I just want to echo John's sentiment. You know, this is a travesty. 80-20 is beyond ridiculous. I have no words. Listen, you can't hold it against Dillian Whyte if he doesn't want to promote a fight. I mean, why would you want to promote your own execution? You know? And not to say that that's what's happening, but that's certainly what's happening in a business sense. You know, the man is being shafted. So while the smart money and rightfully so should be on Tyson Fury to win, I hope Dillian Whyte knocks Tyson Fury out and subsequently demands 80-20 in his favor for any rematch. And I'll leave you, sir, with that.
What did you say about the 80-20?
I hope that Dillian Whyte demands 80-20 for any subsequent rematch in his favor.
100%, 100%. And that was the fight doctor. That was the fight doctor who was very kind enough to join us on this Thursday. Is it Thursday? What day is it today? On this Thursday night. It's been a little bit chilly over here tonight in the UK. Bit of a cold snap. But it's warm in here. It's cold outside, but it's warm in here. It's warm at the Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio Nation, Dawkins Towers. Okay, so glad. Hope there is no rematch clause. There ain't no rematch clause that we're aware of. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There is no rematch clause. No rematch clause. It's one and done, especially in the ring. So I'm hoping nobody likes a doodah, especially in the ring. So I'm hoping nobody likes to do that in the ring. So I'm hoping White will stop Fury as well. OMG. Hey, so what can I say? There was loads more that I could have talked about, but you got to know how to compile your show. You got to know how to do your, get your thing. It's like a laid cake. You got to know how to do your layers. You got to get your layers right. You got to get your balance right. OMG. So, could have talked about a lot more. There's a lot more we need to talk about. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe I should bang out a couple of videos. Raphie starting a new position. New position on Monday. So I'm leaving one position, one job, and I've been successful in going for a position, different company I've been eyeing up. So Raphie starting new job on Monday. I ain't got work tomorrow. I'm tidying up things, loose ends before Monday comes. So gotta make sure I'm ready. Gotta make sure everything's ready. It's kind of like new beginnings. It's the beginning of 2022, and there's changes happening around us. Thank you. Well, where do I start? Congratulations from the lady Shan. Thank you very much. Good luck in your new role, says Tone. Thank you very much. Good luck in the new job, says JK. 100%. The Red Glove Militant says congrats on the job. What we got here? Congratulations on your new position, says TKO Philip Carl Roberts. Congrats. What does that say? That's the emblem that didn't come up. Lisa Bell says congrats. Hey, the Raphie is exciting, new beginnings. I've been working on this project. I'm working on a few projects. This is one of them. And it's good to see. I love it when a plan comes together. Didn't they used to say that in the A-team? I love it when a plan comes together. I'm sure somebody used to say that. It's freezing over in Cardiff. Well, I needed to get my steps in because I've been spending this week, to be honest with you, I've been spending this week getting everything in order, affairs in order, leaving one position, going to another one, and, there's still the training and this, that. So it's been a calm week, but a busy week. Go for it. Nothing but the best going forwards. Yeah, I'm juggling a couple of things. And with this position as well, I get to work from home at times as well. So that's good. Sometimes in the office, sometimes at home. So, I can still do a little bit of juggling. All being well. Love it when a plan comes together. Yes. So new beginnings. I love it. Okay, folks. Thank you for coming through, keeping me company. The John Dealey, the Fight Doctor, everybody up in the chat, everybody who took time out, everybody who smashed that like button, everybody who smashed the subscribe button, everybody who smashed the support button. That's what I call it, the support button. The Aaron Dealey, the Lisa Bales, the JK. Hey, it's been a good one. It's been a great one. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Raphie gonna smoke a cigar now, put his feet up and just reflect. Hey, I'm very happy with it, Philip Carl Roberts. I'm very happy. It's not the end destination, but it's like I needed it for my CV. I need this move for my CV. I plan another move after a year or so. There's some moves afoot, but the fact that I get to work from home at times helps me with my other ventures. I could see you talking for a long time, but it's time that Raphie get his cigar, put his feet up, get the post-production done, notify Twitter, Facebook, and everybody. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Not going to keep you any longer. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And it is the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's Raphael Dawkins, the Combat Radio. And we are out. Blessed.